Whew, you guys, this is a lot. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. It is so good to have you. My name is Andi, and I'm just out here trying to live simply, make money, and help others do the same. I publish new content every week. I try to publish every week, so if you haven't done so already and you do want to keep up with my content, please do go ahead and subscribe. So I know it's been a minute since I posted. I have been down and out for almost 2 weeks now, and it sucks so bad, but I'm okay. I think I'm over the worst of it and I'm getting better. And I know that I look and sound awful, but I didn't want another week to pass without me giving you guys new content, so please do bear with me. I hope I don't sound too bad. So I obviously haven't had the capacity to plan out new content and write new scripts and make new content because it does take a lot of work and I've been sick. But what I thought I'd do today is do a Q&A, and that way it's a little less effort and work for me, but it still, I hope, will be really useful content for you guys. So what I did a few days ago is that I put up a status on my Instagram and asked you guys to send me your questions around e-commerce, online business, digital marketing. By the way, if you don't yet follow me on Instagram, I think you should go and do that. My handle is @Xaba. So what I think I'll do is I will try to answer each of these questions that I got in as much depth as possible, so it's still really useful answers and, you know, just helpful content. But that will also mean that I might not be able to get to all of the questions in this video, and if that does happen, then what I'll do is I will do a part 2 in a few weeks time and I'll answer some more of the questions. Let's get straight into it. The first question is from Sadna. What's up, Sadna? Sadna is a friend of mine. We used to work together back in my advertising agency days. So hey Sadna, she's got a few questions, so I'll try to answer each of those in one go. So her first question is, what's the easiest way to manage your own online store site? And I think the short answer to that is just build it right. A lot of website platforms these days come with a lot of plugins and automations that you can use to really streamline the processes of your online store, your online business. So I would say if you really put in the work in the beginning and build in all of those automations, and it's hard in the beginning, it's a lot of work, but if you build all those things in the beginning, then they will save you a lot of time in the long run and will help your online store sort of run itself, so that you sort of just clicking a button here, you know, getting a notification when you get a sale, but everything sort of is automated and works on its own. So I really think that a key component to just easily running your online store is building in all the right plugins, building in your, you know, your card recovery, your payment gateways, your shipping processing, your stock taking, building that all into your website so you don't have to do it manually. Sadna's second question is, how much does it cost monthly to host an online store? That again depends on which platform you use and the products that you purchase within that platform for your website. So my online store is hosted on Wix.com. All of the websites that I build and have ever built for myself or for other people are hosted on Wix, and the e-commerce plan cost me about 500 Rand per month. I know that it is a little bit cheaper if you pay upfront for the whole year. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to hold myself down to that platform. I'm a big believer in pivoting, and if something else comes along that seems to be better or it's better for my business, then I want to be able to move to that platform. The other platforms that I know of and have tried are Spotify and WooCommerce, which belongs to WordPress. WooCommerce is a free plugin that you can put onto your website, and it's free, but to be able to use the WooCommerce platform on your WordPress website, you have to have the highest level of, or the most expensive package and that package is billed yearly and works out to be about like 8 or 9,000 rand. In my opinion, it's a little bit pricey, and I found that platform not to be the most flexible, so that didn't work out for me. Shopify, did I say Spotify earlier? I think I did, but I meant Shopify starts from about 200-300 rand, and you can get bigger plans. But again, with Shopify, another thing to consider is that the platform takes a commission off of your sales, and for a lot of the extra add-ins and plugins you have to pay for them, so that also ends up being a lot more pricey than you think it is initially. So I answered even things you didn't ask, but I pay 500 rand on Wix and I'm happy. Sadna's final question is there a delivery service to link on the store, so once orders are placed, delivery is actioned, or is that a separate process? The answer to that is yes, there is a way to automate your shipping too. Wherever you stock your products, you can set up the address for that place on your website and set it up so that when a sale is made, your shipping partner or the shipping company that you use is triggered and activated to come collect that order from your address. The problem comes when you have multiple addresses that you need to collect products or orders from. From my experience, there's not a lot of these automations that allow you to collect from different locations, and in my business model where Izulu doesn't stock any of the inventory, all the inventory sits with the vendors, and when a sale is made, our courier partner goes and collects from that vendor and sends to the customer, so it never comes to us. We haven't been able to find a solution to really automate that process for ourselves. We have found a workaround, but it's not as automated as it could be. So definitely, if you're maybe making your own products yourself and everything that you sell on your website sits with you in your house, then you can definitely set it up so that when a sale is made, the courier is triggered immediately, and then they can come and collect and send to your customer. The next question is from Lucy Dibe, and Lou asks, how does one navigate towards finding good suppliers without having too much stock up front? Okay, I feel like this question is in two parts. So how do you navigate finding good suppliers? And that's the simple one, is just social proof is a big thing. So you don't want to find a supplier or deal with a supplier that doesn't have good reviews, that doesn't have stuff written about them somewhere on the internet, that doesn't have a good reputation or doesn't have a reputation at all. So I think you just need to do the work, ask around, search on the internet, look for reviews online, and see whether that supplier has a good reputation of, delivering on time, having good prices, giving quality stuff. And then also, you don't want to enter into a relationship with someone who doesn't have any like a reputation, hasn't built a reputation, is maybe too new as well. That might be risky. There are also apps that you can use that will help you find suppliers. One that I used when I started my very first e-commerce business, which was a drop shipping company. A platform that we used was Below, and that pretty much does the work of like finding suppliers and finding the products that you want for you. And I found that to be a really reliable way to find suppliers and find really good products if you're wanting to drop ship or to wholesale. When it comes to the issue of trying to not have too much stock up front, I know a lot of suppliers prefer it if you do bulk orders or bulk buys, but I also know that a lot of those people who do advertise that are willing to negotiate, so it's just a matter of asking. And so usually if you don't want to buy in bulk, what they might say is that you might need to pay a little bit of a higher price for the product, but I think that's worth it rather than buying a whole lot of something and then not being able to sell it all off. I think it's a much better idea to buy a smaller batch at a slightly higher price and not be stuck with a whole lot of inventory that you can't sell or don't need. So the answer there is really just to try and negotiate, try to build relationships with these suppliers. I found in business, and maybe this is like a shady mindset because you must give to people what's due to people, but there's always room for negotiation. So negotiate, ask, and you will received. So the next question is from Boitumelo Ngai, hope I'm saying that right, and they ask, hey Andi, so please give us more content on shipping companies and NB information on choosing one for your business. Okay, cool. I think I will try to do a video dedicated to shipping and the different shipping options and offerings that are out there. But what I can tell you now is maybe give you a bit of a rundown of my experience when I was starting and try to find a good shipping company, the things that I really looked for in a shipping partner. And for me, it was, like I said earlier, it was a lot about streamlining and automating and making sure that things could run with as minimal effort from me as possible. And so I met and I had conversations with a few shipping companies, and in the end, and I even trialed out a few in the beginning, but in the end I went with the courier guy. And the reason for that was that they, unlike any of the other companies, offered me firstly a flat rate that I could use for all of my orders, and that was really nice because it meant that I would be able to foresee how much shipping would cost me and therefore how much I needed to charge for shipping on the platform, on the website when someone buys, which just made planning for me better and made charging easier. The second thing that they gave me that was really great was a human. They assigned us an account manager, someone that would be the go-to person in their business for me, someone who would service our business. And that's been really great to have a human face that I can speak to, someone that I can call when, you know, there's problems and delays and shipping and I'm like, what is going on, and they can fast track things and help unblock things and things like that. They've been really amazing in that every time I WhatsApp her and I'm like, yo, there's a problem, this thing is stuck here, I don't know what's going on, she's able to really help us in that so that we're able to always deliver on time. So that was really great. I really liked that they gave us a human to deal with rather than, you know, having to call into a call center or something like that, which is what a lot of the other companies offer. And then the third thing was they gave us a portal that sort of mimicked the automation that you would find on a website. So like I said before, the limitation that we found with website automations when it comes to shipping is that it can't trigger from different locations, and so having the ability to preload the locations of all of our vendors and really click a button to link their portal to our website so that it's almost automated has really helped us and really made things a lot easier. So what it came down to was the service that we received, price offering, and the technology that they had that would make our lives a lot easier. And then I guess the final thing was just like they had a great reputation. I spent a lot of time reading reviews on Hello Pizza, on Google reviews, wherever I could find reviews about them. And for the most part, I think, you know, in every business there's hiccups here and there, but for the most part everyone had really good things to say about them. The next question, I actually think this is the last question I'm going to do for this video. I don't want it to be too long, but also I'm feeling like I'm losing breath a little bit. So Katlecho asks, how do you keep up with your consistency to grow even in the storms? That's a really good question. And I think that it's all about your confidence as an entrepreneur, your agility, and your vision. Maybe let me tell you a little story, and it's a story that I'm sure so many people have experienced in the last few months. But I obviously own an e-commerce business, and what happened when lockdown began is that there were restrictions on shipping, which meant that I guess ultimately my business was not able to run. We still advertised that we were open for sales, but that we'd only be able to ship things once the lockdown had been lifted. But yeah, because of the nature of my business, lockdown really did negatively affect our numbers and our sales. So that was, you know, quite a difficult thing to have to deal with. And then, you know, it was meant to be 3 weeks, and then there was an extension, and then even post that, shipping was still limited to only essential items. So it was a good chunk of time where we were not able to make money. essentially. And what was even more disheartening is that even once not e-commerce, but I guess e-commerce trading and shipping was open, sales didn't pick back up immediately. And so I spent a lot of time sort of racking my brain about what we could do to make our offering seem even more enticing, especially knowing that, you know, a lot of people have been hit financially. Even those who haven't been hit are probably not spending as much because everyone's trying to save and prepare, because we all just don't know which way things are gonna go. So one thing that I decided to do was to make shipping free on our platform. You know, there's studies that show that shipping costs are one of the biggest things that deter people from buying online. So when I thought about it, and I thought, okay, people are already probably strapped for cash, and then when they try to buy something, it's also the cost of shipping. So maybe if we take away the cost of shipping, people will be more encouraged and more likely to buy, which is exactly what happened. Of course, the cost of that, the shipping cost that the customer would have had to buy doesn't just go away. We had to cover it, but I do believe that it is a cost that has been worth it. And I think that a big part of even like coming up with that solution or working towards finding a solution to solve came from my confidence in my business. I know that what Izulu stands for and what it does is needed. And so for me, it was like I could have gone, oh well, we're just not gonna make money until this pandemic is over. But because I had confidence enough that my business was something that was needed in the moment, I was able to apply myself and find that solution. Another thing that speaks to is agility, and that I guess is just like flexibility, being able to pivot and move and decide, okay, we were doing this, but now we can't do this, let's do something else. My friend Lihle is such a great example. She had a bomb ass events company. She was doing weddings and parties and all sorts of beautiful events, and then the pandemic started and it became, you know, difficult. And so when lockdown began, she pivoted and started doing sort of these like preset at home setups where she would come and drop off a set for, you know, your dinner party or for your at home small intimate whatever. And then she's also launched another business where she sells like homeware, such beautiful spoons and knives and tables and all of this really beautiful stuff. I'll actually show you some of her stuff here, and I'll link to her social media in the description box. But she's been such a great example of someone who's just had so much agility and just pivoted and found opportunity in different places. And then the third thing that I spoke about was vision. Just decide and put to paper what it is that you want, what you want your business to look like, and then hold on to that thing. Vision board it, put it somewhere, everywhere where you can see it. Make it something that's in your conscious mind all the time, that this is what I'm working for, this is what I'm going to achieve, so that even when there's challenges, you aren't swayed, but you still keep fighting and working towards that thing. Because the truth and the fact of life is that storms will always come, but you need to look beyond those, look through those, look under those, and see the thing that you're fighting for and that you're working towards. So maintain confidence, build agility and a ability to pivot, and then hold on to the vision that you have. Decide what that vision is, define it very clearly for yourself. Okay, you guys, the little bit of voice that I had left is leaving me, so I'm definitely going to end it here for today. I will make a point of making another one of these videos in a few weeks time to answer the rest of your questions. But thank you so much to everyone who sent me a question and engaged with me on Instagram. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please leave me a comment below. Tell me what stood out for you, what was helpful for you. Tell me if you want me to do another one of these Q&As, and I will make sure to include more of them in my content schedule. And yeah, if this was useful for you, if this was helpful for you, if this was information that you needed, please do give me a thumbs up so that I know that this is good content and this is content that you guys want and need. Finally, thank you for watching until the end. I do appreciate it. I will be back soon. I will have a proper voice and look more alive the next time I put a video out. I hope you guys are doing okay and that you're keeping safe and you're keeping well and healthy and taking your vitamins and drinking your water. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.